What if I told you that one of the biggest internet streamers could have possibly played Wigs? Yes, I'm saying that right off the bat and I'm not joking. And I'm pretty sure I found possibly one of the biggest discoveries that the Wigs community has thought about in a while. Because I was just seemingly binge watching Caseoh absolutely lose it over 60 seconds. Yeah, that's right, I could be suspecting that Caseoh could have played Wigs. So yes, that's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. I'm also going to be talking about Caseoh himself, how I accidentally found out he may have played Wigs, along with some other things. So get your Wendy's burgers ready, and get yourself while you're at it, because we're about to talk about Caseoh and Wigs. So without further ado, let's get into it. So our protagonist for this video is Caseoh, and you probably already know who he is, but for some reason if you haven't heard of him, let me give you a recap. So long story short, Caseoh is the low budget, nickel biting, ketchup commanding, war hungry, fart stinky, half dollar, coin expector, 6 or 7 chin, generally worrying, steakhouse craving, playing TV, sip seeking, cheek clapping, chair creaking, scripting for dimes, low income streamer that goes by the name of Case from a small town named Little Rock, Arkansas. Or Tiny Pebble in this case, because fans speculate that Caseoh is 16639777213 to the power of 57 of the size of the observable universe. But other than that, he started streaming on Twitch in September 11th of 2022, playing a game called NBA 2K, with the help of Verizon mobile hotspot. But only a couple days later, he went viral on TikTok thanks to his honest nature, and it was only a matter of time when people started recognizing him.
My 3 balls is a 84, I think, 84. It's either 83 or 80. I'm pretty sure it's 84 though.
Are you Caseoh from TikTok?
There ain't no way I just got recognized. Bro.
Are you dead serious? Yo, you're Caseoh from TikTok?
Dude, that's crazy. No, that's crazy.
And sooner or later, 4 years later, Caseoh one day woke up knowing that he has over 3.93 billion viewers alone, and he is one of the biggest and most honest streamers on YouTube, and responsible for the most memorable clips ever.
Hey, bro's built like a 1x1 Lego piece. What even is a 1x1 Lego piece? Yep, you're banned. Have a good night. Well, I see the sun peeking through the window a little bit. Sleep schedule gone now. Gotta make Hufflepuff proud though. Hey, it is what it is, man. Yo, that almost killed him. Yo, that almost killed him. Yo, my monitor fell! Yo!
And he's also known for some questionable moments.
Take a dump on me, Dolores. Let it rip all over my face, Dolores. Why are you blocking me? Now you wanna bring back food? 4 food and 1 bottle of water, Teddy. Teddy, 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 we needed water, Teddy, Teddy.
So he's also known for that basically. And I actually find it interesting that he said all of these clips that I just showed you aren't real, but generated by AI, which has already been debunked by Caseoh fans because it extends over the 10 to 12 second rule, which is just a principle you can find out if a video is fake or not. And also you can just find the video for yourself. And if you do want to get to know about Caseoh a little more, I found a banger video that tells you everything about Caseoh, linked in the description. I also got a meme compilation if you would like to see that. But other than that, that's pretty much said and done with this chapter. So let's move on to the point of the video, which is I essentially got to know a little bit about Caseoh. Let's move on to the point of the video and how I actually found out that Case could have potentially played Wigs. So let's get into that. Now this all started on a random day when I was just binge watching Caseoh playing 60 seconds on both of his channels. Now I was just picking videos randomly until I came across a video called Most Days I Ever Survived, published on January 18th of 2024. Now there was not much in this stream but this.
This dude really said which one is...
So yeah, it looks like someone had too much stupid sauce that day. But anyway, what if I told you that I only watched 10 seconds of that video before noticing something in the corner of my eye just right before he clicked off to play the game? Now since I have a habit of looking at things that aren't really important, I decided to rewind the video to the beginning and looked at the very thing that I saw, and when I did I was absolutely shocked. Turns out, what I saw was a quick tap of the Wickwix icon. And when I saw this, my first question was, why? No, seriously, why would there be a sandbox game in Caseoh's wallpaper when he primarily plays horror games, rage games, and sometimes multiplayer games? Keep that in mind because we're going to talk about multiplayer games later on in the video. But anyway, curious with what I found, I decided to research a bit and see if any of his friends have played the game at the time, since it must have been a collab at some point, and Caseoh probably didn't decide to record it. But unfortunately I found nothing. But since I had to make a video at the time, I laid off the idea to finish the video and then hopefully get back to it. And for your information, this is when I was working on my Backrooms community video, which was nearly done at the time. Okay, now let's fast forward a bit. It's just a couple hours after I made that video, and understandably I wanted to take a break. So of course I watched some of Caseoh's recorded streams, until I came across a video, which I don't remember the name of unfortunately, and I immediately saw this. That's right, the very same layout that we saw just a bit ago, but only Halloween themed. So I went ahead and checked the date, and it was November 1st of 2023. Now this got me thinking, if the video that I just saw was made in November, and then Wickwix still pops up in January. So I started researching, and at this point you're probably thinking if this is clickbait. But no, I found 4 separate wallpapers and instances where Wickwix appears throughout September 2023 to January 2024. And if you want to see these wallpapers and instances where Wickwix appears for yourself, and if it's legit, I put 8 links in the video description and a playlist on my channel that I'll add to if I keep finding more. But anyhow, if Caseoh had Wickwix for this long, or maybe even longer, he must have played this game at least once. So to prove that Caseoh played Wickwix, I have 2 options. The first one is to go check his account to see if he will review on Steam. This may be a long shot, but it is worth a try. So there's 2 accounts that I had in mind. The first one is just to look up Caseoh. But obviously this didn't end up well because there's a lot of weirdos out there that like to lob Caseoh. Heck, even Caseoh famously once said that there's just a lot of weirdos out there that like to be me, and that's not very cool, which is understandable. But my last option was to look up his main account that he uses to stream, which goes by the name of Gyrostorm. This time I knew what I was looking for because I did see a moment where his profile picture appears in a video. But when I looked it up, of course there was just a bunch of novels in there. But I did manage to find his account by looking closely with the first letter of his account being capitalized. I also looked up this account multiple times before I even knew that Caseoh played Wickwix years back. So I know what I'm looking for, which is the problem, because turns out that Caseoh set his profile to private, which means you can't see anything that the profile has. But I already knew this. There was really no point to look for it because, I don't know, maybe I thought that Case may have set his profile to public without me knowing, but whatever, that was dumb. But anyway, I did find an interesting account in the process. Yes, he does claim that he's not Caseoh, but he does have a review on Wickwix, but you may never know. This just might be Caseoh in disguise. But anyway, that's just a thought. Alright, since I tried that, let's move on to my last result, which is just trying to find a review myself. Once again, this is a long shot, but still, this is worth a try. After a bit of me trying to figure out how the Steam review system worked, I simply just selected the date when Caseoh played Wickwix, searched up, maybe scroll down for a bit, and we might just find his review. That's a lot of reviews. Yeah, why just not have next page button? Do I really have to look through the... Okay, I'm definitely not going through all that. So let's just say that Case probably didn't write the review in the first place. So yeah, unfortunately, the only evidence that I can find to prove that Case may have played Wickwix is the wallpapers that I showed you guys earlier. But if I can't prove that Case played Wickwix, I'll prove that he has Wickwix. And I do have a theory for that. See, remember when I said that sometimes he does play multiplayer games? Well, maybe he just got the game for its multiplayer feature. Probably planned to use it in a collab, or just by himself. But he never actually got to play it, possibly because of him getting sidetracked by other games that were blowing up at the time. But sometimes you just have to look on the other side of things. Like, what if Caseoh just didn't want to play this game in particular? Because that's just his will and it's just a game that he wants to play himself. Because everyone, sometimes we have to take a step back and realize that sometimes the Waffle House Conqueror wants to take a break from horror games and maybe try something different for a little while. Well, that was certainly a video on its own. But I'd just like to thank you for tuning in into this video, and remember to comment in the video description. And if you want me to make a video on something, or maybe to say it was a good video itself. Because you may not realize it, but it is actually very important for this channel. So that way I can know about something that I may have missed, or a video idea, or a situation that I need to cover. Also, a quick note here, but sorry I was gone for several days. I had to get my computer fixed due to a storage problem, and to get some cooling fans in the process, but at least it's running again. And also, I've been addicted to a game called binge Drive. And yes, I've been working on these videos extensively, but I have the tendency to play this game during the meantime, for whatever reason. So yes, I do work on my videos, but half the time it's just me doing this. I'm having so much fun. I won't be able to find a job because of this. Sorry guys, I tried my best to not get distracted. But I do have to admit it is a pretty peak game. So if you're wondering why this video took a little bit more longer to be published, that's the reason why. But anyway, in case though, if you still happen to be watching this, just remember that you're the skinniest that you can ever be. And I hope you get skinnier. Hopefully it's something along the lines of this. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.
Ink emergency. Yo, that almost killed me.